In this video I'm going to be working through question number 5 from this maths paper. This is a maths paper from 2011, paper 4 for GCSE Higher Mathematics. So I shall work through this question 4, not only explaining it but also giving, I hope, some other useful comments which will include the marks awarded for the question. If you'd like your own copy of this paper 4 along with paper 3 and the 2 DVDs where I go through all the questions in detail, you can get the information from either mathstutor.biz or mathsdvds.co.uk. GCSE Higher from 2011, paper 4, question 5. The diagram shows 2 concentric circles. Find the area of the shaded part. So if I can find the area of the whole big circle, subtract the area of the unshaded part, I'll have the area of the shaded part. So to do this question I have to know the formula for the area of a circle, and that won't be on any formula sheet. It's part of the curriculum that you learn that, so if you don't, do it now. Area of a circle, pi r squared. So if we consider the large circle as having a radius of r and the small circle as having a radius of little r, we can write it down like this: pi r squared minus pi r squared. But this is the beginning of the paper still. The questions aren't over demanding. A lot of people are going to make silly mistakes. They're going to lose some marks towards their total, but not you. You are not going to say the radiuses are 2 and 3. You're going to think it a bit harder and say, if that's 3, so that's 5. And the radius of the small one is 3. Believe you me, that is an easy thing, isn't it? But there are some candidates who are going to slip up on that for one reason or another. Rushing, getting in a bit of a pickle, or anything. So therefore, pi r squared we can now write as pi 5 squared minus pi 3 squared. Now, how do you work this out? Well, it's a calculator paper, so you could type this in straight away. I'll put brackets around there just to make things go carefully. Pi is there. Make sure you know where your pi is. Are you going to type in 5 squared or are you going to do 25? It's up to you. Minus brackets pi. Didn't put a multiplication sign in there. I wonder if that makes any difference. 3 squared or 9, whichever you're going to do. It didn't like that because I didn't put the multiplication sign in. Okay. Open brackets. Pi multiplied by 25, close brackets, minus, open brackets, pi multiplied by 9. Now if you use a calculator, it is a very good idea to do it more than once, preferably a different way. So now type it in as brackets pi times 5 squared, close brackets, minus, open brackets, pi multiplied by 3 squared, close brackets, equals. Now if you can do it 2 completely different ways, you can be pretty sure you got it right. It doesn't take that long. It's well worth the effort to make sure you get the question right. Lastly, it tells you to put this to a certain degree of accuracy, and this is what I call a question that tells you to do all 4 things. What 4 things? Show you working out, give the calculator answer, show a sensible answer, which is 3 significant figures if you're not told what to do, or whatever you're told to do, and lastly the units. Don't forget the units. Somewhere on the exam paper there could be 1 mark for showing units. It's often there. You won't know which question it will be, but somewhere on the exam paper a mark for the units. This is worth 3 marks. If you get it right, you'll get all 3 marks. If you get it wrong, you'll get 1 or 2 marks depending on what you show. So let's give a mark for writing the units this time, and then 2 marks here if you get it right, or a mark up there. Before we leave this question, let's again remind you that we're revising for exams. Let's look at another way of doing this. We could take the pi out and have r squared minus r squared. Then you could possibly recognise this as something called the difference of 2 squares, and that's something you're meant to know about, the difference of 2 squares. This is r squared minus r squared, the minus being difference of. And you can factorise that, and in one bracket you put that, and in the other bracket you put the same thing. But one bracket has a plus sign and the other bracket has a minus sign. That is called the difference of 2 squares. It's something else you're meant to know. So pi multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5 subtract the 3, that should give us the same answer. Pi multiplied by 8 multiplied by 2 gives us the same answer. Now, in the exam you obviously don't have to do this, but if you can, then you might need this.